Good evening and สวัสดีครับ I'm เทพชัยยอง
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ I'm นัชชากมลวาทิน Welcome to Thai PBS World. We are live on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and you can watch us live every Thursday.
Yeah, this is our weekly English news program that gives you insight into major events of the week. And of course, Kunatha, this week we cannot help but having to stick to politics once more, because so much has happened politically the past 1 week that we are getting more and more clearer indication as to how things will move from this point on.
Yes, it's getting more and more excited, and we would like to hear your view on new faces or old faces in politics, but consider as new generation. Do you believe that they will bring change to Thai political landscape?
The past 1 week has seen the emergence or re-emergence of some new faces or some not so new faces in the political scenes, and these people, are being seen by some people as being a beacon of hope. In those who hold positive view of Thai future politics. They believe that these people will be sort of a part of the engine to move Thailand forward politically. But of course, there are people who doubt whether they can really be real agents of change or not. So your views will be very interesting.
Yes, at least we just want to hear your view, whether you agree, yes or no, that new faces will be agent of change in Thai politics. And one of the faces will be with us today, Khun Varawut Silpa-archa. Just wait for just a moment.
Okay.
But before we have our guest, let's see mover and shakers of the week in this week politics.
In the past few days, these are some of the people who have become the movers and shakers of Thai politics. And of course, these people will be playing a very important role in months from now. And some of them are being seen as the potential candidates to take up key positions in the next government, whatever form the new government is going to be.
Yes, we have to emphasize that there is no formal announcement yet, but this is the prediction or the trend of perhaps they are likely political movers and shakers in the near future as well. And let's see the 3 candidates who announced to join รวมพลังประชารัฐ party. They are actually current cabinet members.
So the spotlight has been on these 3 particular persons who are members of the current cabinet. Kun Sontirat, Kun Uttama, Kun Kopsak. These are 3 of the most prominent members of the Prayut cabinet. And of course, there has been speculation that these people will take the lead in strengthening the Palang Pracharat party, which is seen as the so-called recruiting arms of the current junta appointed government. And of course, Kun Kopsak on the right, has been asked repeatedly about his role in the new party. He was evasive, but of course, he didn't deny the fact that in one of the interviews he gave, that he was going to take up some position within the party. So these 3 people will be the core members of the new Reform Party that people believe that will play a very important role in the coalition that will be formed after the election.
Yes. Now let's see the next party, the next big party, old party, Pheu Thai party, strong contenders as the leader of Pheu Thai party, Kun Somchai Wong Sawat, former Prime Minister, and Kun Sudarat Keyurapan.
The party, the former ruling party, seems to be in a leadership crisis. And of course, it still cannot be predicted as how they will end up. And of course, Kun Sudarat, who just enrolled as a member of the party, yesterday, is being seen as a strong contender. And of course, everybody knows that the real person behind the scene, who pulled the string from behind, is not other than Kun Thaksin Shinawatra, who is now in self-exile.
Yes, and we are waiting for the formal announcement and whether there would be working in tandem with another big party that's still in the questions. That's why we have to see the next trend of the Democrat Party, strong contender, the 3 candidates who perhaps are joining contest for next leadership of the Democrat Party?
The Democrat Party has also been under the spotlight for the past few weeks, largely because of Kun Thappisit's idea of having a so-called primary vote, to nominate the next leader of the party. And now he's being challenged by at least two potential candidates, Kun Alongkorn Phonlabut, a former deputy leader of the party, and Kun Varongdet Kitvikrom, a former MP who made headlines a few years ago when he led the crusade to expose the corruption in the rice pledging scheme of the Yingluck government. So it would be interesting to see result of the leadership contest. But sources in the party still believe that Kun Thappisit still commands a lot of support in the party and is most likely to emerge as a leader for another term, to lead the party into the upcoming election.
Yes. And next, let's see the new party under leadership of Kun Thanathorn,จึงรุ่งเรืองกิจ Future Forward Party. He's the new face that is said to represent new political blood, and he proffered to rewrite Constitution of 2017.
And he stole the spotlight a few days ago when he was on stage at the forum called the Concordia, forum in New York. And this is the day that he was on the stage. And he means no words when he talk about the military junta. He accused the military junta of being the cause of the so-called vicious circle that brings Thailand into always back to square one. Democracy, dictatorship, democracy, dictatorship. And he vows to try to, if he has the power, if he gets elected and he has the enough power, he would try to correct this trend.
Yes.
So it would be interesting, to see how he will do in the election. He seems to be getting a lot of support from young voters.
Yes.
He's very popular in social media.
Yeah, he draws so much attention from young generation, especially those who are active in social media. And we can see how foreign news reports are interested in his move and the charges against him, the accusation against him as well. And let's see next.
Okay, another so-called new face, not totally new, but of course we can describe him as a new generation, a member of a new generation of Thai politicians, Kun Varawut Silpa-archa. Okay.
From Chartthaipattana Party.
He'll be with us tonight.
Yes. And he represents new political blood, and we will talk with him in details the plan of the party and his role in Chartthaipattana Party.
He's not yet a formal leader of the party, but he's assumed leader of the party. And he has been saying that the party, the Chartthaipattana Party will, under his leadership, will be, he described it as a new wine in old bottle.
Yes.
Old bottle means a party because it has a blend, right?
Okay.
But the wine inside is brand new. That's what he promises his party to be.
Okay, so we will get clarification of him and how he plans to work with new generation in the party. And most obviously is the one person, the current Prime Minister. Probably it's the first time that he really mentioned this, that he is really interested in entering politics.
No, he's still evasive when asked by reporters, pressed by reporters to say outright whether or not he will enter politics. In the way that people would want him to, being listed as a potential candidate for Prime Minister. And he still, as we have been saying, has been keeping his cards very close to his chest. But the statement he made early this week, that I am interested in politics was taken as the most obvious sign that he has a strong intention to be involved in politics.
So far, do you think this sentence is the most promising or most prominent sentence from him?
Okay, yeah.
And let's see the poll. Right now, we have many organizations doing the poll from to see whether who are the choices that people prefer to be next prime minister, and this is the result of NIDA poll.
Yeah, the poll was conducted a week ago by NIDA, a very reliable poll, right? And quite interestingly, Kun Prayut comes out on top with close to 30% of the respondents supporting him as the next prime minister, followed by Kun Sudarat.
Yes.
And then even more interestingly, the third place is Kun Thanathorn, someone who has no political experience, but yet is still commanding a lot of support. And Kun Abhisit, even after him, comes after him.
Yes.
All right, then tonight we have a special guest that who will be talking to us and give us some insight into
finally.
Okay,
it's time for Kun Varawut. Okay, welcome.
Thank you for joining us and welcome.
Thank you.
Please.
Have your seat.
So, what should I call you? A would-be leader or soon-to-be leader of Chartthaipattana Party? You're not a leader yet, formally, right?
No, I'm the son of the former leader, and I'm just merely one of the member of the party. At the moment, my official title is the advisor to the leader of the party.
Yes. But our eyes have been on you as the next leader.
I think it has been on my family name, not on me.
But can we say you are leader in waiting?
No, because...
but I don't see any challenges to your leadership yet.
One thing I learned in Thai politics is that if the pen is not on the paper, there's always a chance of things going sideways.
So nowadays, what keeps you busy?
Politics.
Really?
And
just
politics.
recently?
And politics. Well, prior to this, all these political situation that has developed over the past 6 to 8 months has been football.
Okay.
And prior to that, it has always been my family, my kids, and my family is my life. And so now the priority shifted. So one need to prioritize one thing over another. And of course, politics is right at the top of my list at the moment.
No, but if you have a choice, would you rather go back to your normal life?
Of course. If anyone has a choice, one would definitely prefer to go back and nice and peaceful, quiet time and spend with your family. But when duty calls, a man got to do what a man got to do.
So
but do you have a choice to choose? Can you choose?
I can, and I have chosen.
Okay.
And here I am.
Okay.
So what will happen next as far as your party is concerned?
What will happen?
The process of electing the new leadership, so what does it involve?
Well, originally we planned on the Friday the 5th of October. However, having scrutinized the entire rules and regulation of the next, we are going to have a meeting with the election commission, all the political parties, and having scrutinized all the rules and regulations, it's making us having a second thought, because there are so many questions that we need to clarify prior to proceeding with all these procedure. To come up with the executive members of the party, come up with the leader, the new secretary general, so on and so forth. There are a lot of steps and a lot of questions that we need some answers first before we proceed.
Okay, and these are things you never encountered before in the past.
Never before since I was born anyway. But this has been the classic case where those who drafted the rules and regulation never actually be in the battlefield, and those in the battlefield never gets to draft. So it's he say, she says, and then
the referees are supposed to be involved in the games themselves.
No, but now the rules and regulations are out, so we have to do our best to accommodate, because the cost of violating those laws or rules are very severe, unfortunately.
Right. So tomorrow, the big gathering, it must be the biggest gathering ever when election commission meet with many parties' representatives.
I think it would be as big as the last time we had with all the political parties at the with the military. There will be a lot of people there. There will be a lot of questions, and God knows how long it would take. So keeping fingers crossed.
Perhaps one day wouldn't be enough.
I hope it is enough, because I'm sure that most of the questions would be very similar. You know, some of the major political parties would share the same question. For example, the social media, you know, the means to campaign through such channel. What should be the limitation? What is the do's and don'ts? You know, it's difficult to control it nowadays. So what is the exact protocol in doing so?
Okay, let's come back to your Chartthaipattana party. So most likely under your leadership. So how do you want this party to be seen by the public? It's not a new party, has been a household name for many, many years. But yet the leadership will be in the hands of young leaders like yourself.
Well, first of all,
you describe it as the new wine in old bottle.
Exactly, exactly.
So what is it going to be like?
Since the passed away of my father, we cannot find anyone with such caliber anymore. Not in Thai politics, there is no one else, especially now in our party. So the way we proceed from now on, it's going to be an institution-wise. So everything has to be through the mandate of the party. I have no, how shall I say, I don't have what it takes to call the shot. Said go left, go right, and I will not be able to take all responsibility for such decision. If it's wrong, if it's right, or whatever. So it has to be the mandate of everyone in the party. If you're going to go left, you know, if you're going to success, we success together.
So no more top-down style of leadership like in the
No, it would absolutely a bottom-up. You know, when I used to say to all the people, when my father was still running the show, Chartthaipattana party as well as Chartthai party, we were like a pyramid where he sits at the top and everyone follows. Unfortunately, when it comes to the next generation, it will have to be an inverted pyramid where whoever is going to be a leader will have to be at the bottom of it and, you know, kind of look up to all the senior members and everyone in the party to take us all the way.
How many members in your party, Chartthaipattana parties, and how would you elect, how the party will elect the new leader?
Oh, I think the protocol is pretty clearly stated in the, according to Election Commission. It will have to be done during the General Assembly. It will have to be done in private. You know, so normally what we used to do in the past, we just sat on the table, given a ballot and just tick, 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 and just drop it into the boxes. But now we have to go to the voting station, you know, enclosed space, and tick, 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 so no one would see, and then fold it up. It's just like an election. So the process would be a bit more tedious, it would be more time consuming, and that is just how it's going to be. But we will not have a, what do you call it, the primaries like in the Democrat.
Why not? To make it more democratic, more transparent.
We are not that big, and we are not as old as the Democrat Party. Democrat Party has a long-standing traditions and structure. We are still relatively new compared to them, so we are not as complex as they are.
You know, Chartthaipattana party, or previously known as Chartthai, right?
Right.
Has this very interesting image. It has always been seen as a party that is guided by political expediency rather than principle. Of course, you know the nickname Paralai.
Of course,
given to the party. So,
of course.
So what is going to be like from now on? Are you happy with the image, the Paralai image?
Well, that phrase was actually, you know, it was out of the desperation. It was out of the, well, some of the, how shall I say, personal feelings that was mentioned, and then the media just picked it up and continued the traditions.
But Khun Bantha didn't seem to mind it.
No, because there's a saying that never explain yourself. Because those who believes in you doesn't need the explanation, and those who doesn't believe you won't listen anyway, won't believe you anyway. So my father doesn't really care much about it, but do bear in mind, though, that Chartthaipattana party as well as Chartthai party, we are the only party in Thai political system where we've been everything. We've been the leader of the coalition. We've had two prime ministers in our party, General Chartthai and then my father. We have been part of the coalition. We have been the leader of the opposition. My father was the leader of the opposition parties in the parliament. we were also the coalition in the opposition.
Okay.
So we've been everything.
You've been through every situation.
We've been through every situation. I mean, when the red comes out, they threw bombs at my house.
Okay.
And when the yellow came out, they threw bombs at my house. So sometimes I'm confused. What color am I? Am I orange or whatever it is? But
is it good or bad thing being in the middle?
It's,
sometimes
sometimes...
it's a party for all seasons.
Sometimes it begs the question, why do one needs to pick a side before the election? For example, right now we are counting down to an election. Some people are asking, are you going to side with this? Are you going to side with that?
Yeah, that's a question you'll be asked.
You will be asked. And then
again.
I asked back, said, the past 10 years, come the 2nd of December this year, we'll commemorate the 10th anniversary where Chartthaipattana was dissolved by the verdict of the Constitution Court. After 10 years, we're still exactly where we were. And here again, everyone is asking, which sides are you on? Which sides are you on? I mean, can't we just be doing our job? And at the end of the day, it's a number game.
Okay.
Who can gather, the max, out of 500 seats, who gets the majority? Can you integrate our policy into the government? If you can integrate the policy into the government, I think every single party's goal is to be able to implement their policies to help the people.
Okay.
And what's the landscape do you see this time in the election? And what's the role of Chartthaipattana Party as small and medium-sized?
Kun Banhan would have been able to foresee this post-election scenario.
I beg to differ this time. I do beg to differ, unfortunately. I sat down long and hard and asked myself, what would he do if he was still around? And the answer to that was, I don't think he would know neither, because since I was born, my father had never encountered such a situation like this.
But do you constantly need to think and imagine yourself in your father's shoe, what he would do if he's still alive?
I've just learned a very expensive lesson, that what my father thinks, what he thought, cannot be what I think. Because in order to think like what he did, he had the charisma, he has the all the years of experiences and respect to him. What do I have? It took my father 3 decades of his life to assume the leader. I've got less than 1.5 years. So I cannot afford to think the way he thinks. I have to think the way I think. And the way I think is that I'm right at the bottom of the pyramid. So I will have to talk to all the senior members of the parties, all the mandates and everything, and see where we go.
We have photo from your Facebook and see how close you are with your father.
I miss him dearly. Unfortunately, a son will always appreciate how much a father loves him only when he's gone.
Yeah. What do you think is the strongest influence that he left on you?
On me?
Yeah.
Just do it. The most valuable piece of asset that he left me, that I inherited from him, wasn't money, wasn't land, but it's the guts to go forward. I mean, I'm facing a lot of problems right now, a lot of challenges. Come the election, whatever it is, I will persevere through it.
Yeah. What about your mother? Is she still very supportive of you still in politics?
Oh, well, she leaves it up to me, really. Whatever I decide best. I would not taint my father's image and his legacy. I always say, I posted in my Facebook when my father passed away, is that the legend is gone, but his legend shall continue. And I will do to my best of my ability to continue such legend. But at the end of the day, if I fail, then I can say that I have tried. But if I'm going to call it a day without a fight, that's not in my blood.
Now you have been quoted as saying that you expect your party expect to win up to 30 seats.
Yes.
In the lower house, right?
Yes.
And that could be a sizable number. So you become a mid-sized party that will play a very crucial role in deciding the shape of the next coalition. Of course, you're aware of that. That's a role that, in fact, your party has been playing all along, that you're not aspire to be big.
No,
I aspire to be in the position where you can sort of play a key role in
It's
breaking
not-
deadlock?
It's not that I inspire to be in that position. That is our ability. We don't have the ability to get 60 or 70. We might get 20.
Even those days were gone when you got as many as 97.
Oh, those days were
2000.
I don't know if to call it a glorious day or a disastrously glorious day, but there were a lot of problems. There are so many factions and everything. But now our ability, I think 30 is the likely number. It could be less. It could be much less. I don't think it will be more though, because I know our capability, and I don't expect us to be any bigger. And if by aiming for that number put us in this position, then so be it. I don't aim to be the key maker. I don't want to be the key player. It's not me.
Okay.
We cannot help but thinking that perhaps you have sending signal that you would like to join with Palang Pracharat in the future, because the image of you were very close with General Prayut when he have cabinet meeting, mobile cabinet meeting last year.
Well,
That image is still quite clear.
when a prime minister come and visit, well, he's literally right opposite my office. I mean, wouldn't it be rude? I mean, I just sit there, the prime minister there. I just don't go out and say hello.
Just trying to be a good host.
I was trying to be a good host, but I'm also close with many senior members of the Pheu Thai party as well. I've been lucky in such a way that my father has been tagging me along all my life, so I know all the senior members of all the political parties, in the Democrat, in the Pheu Thai, in Phum Chai Thai, even in the military sections. So when they come, of course I will have to go and greet them. Especially when he's right opposite my office. I can't just sit there and say, you go and do your own business. It would be absolutely rude.
It wasn't supposed to be any special meaning to that.
No. My father wouldn't like it if I just sit there and do nothing.
And he himself would have been there to welcome.
Well, of course. On many occasions in the past, he welcomed General Prem. He welcomed even the former Prime Minister Yingluck as well. So, we are trying to be a good host, basically.
So
Nothing more.
How are you and your party prepared for a situation in which the nomination process of the next Prime Minister, becomes deadlocked, and none of the nominees in the list of the potential Prime Minister makes it to the final round, and then someone, so-called outsider, has to step in? What would be your stand?
That will have to be voted in the parliament. I think we are trying to run before we can walk. At the moment, as far as I'm concerned, I am trying to ascertain the fact that the election on the 24th of February, the mechanism of it. After 24th of February, it will be the whole new ball game. But at the moment, I'm trying to plan my life until that D-Day. By just doing that alone has occupied 110% of my life already. And whatever happens after 24th of February, well, that's another game.
Played by ears.
Played by ears. One can't make such a what-if scenario, because by making such scenarios, you can come up with a really bad outcome. What if this? What if that? What if the world ends tomorrow? What if, a meteor come and hits Thailand on the 25th of February? It's always a what-if situation.
Politically, is Suphanburi your priority? The area in your heart always?
It's my home. It's my home. But should I have to take the helm of the ship, then the priority would be, well, all those people that's in the political party, not just Suphanburi. If I have to take the big chair, then, up north, northeast, southern part, in Central Plain, I will have to go and visit all of them. So, well, at the end of the day, Thailand is my home, is my motherland.
And how do you see the role of young politicians, new faces in this election? Do you believe in the power of new generation?
We consider you to be one of them.
Thank you. A big thank you. I always jokingly say is that, if the election is postponed for a few more years, then I will not be classified as a new generation anymore.
You still have time.
I'm the youngest in the old faces.
Okay.
And
That's good enough.
I think I'm the oldest in the young faces. So if Kun Thanathorn...
You can belong to either group then.
I'm a bit of a hybrid, actually. But I'm very glad to see such dynamic, such energy from all the new faces that enters into Thai politics, into the arena. It only shows the interests that the newer generations are paying to what is really going on in this country of ours, and their desire to see a better future of Thailand. It's always good to have a change.
Now, what do you think is the biggest challenge, facing Thailand right now? Challenge that you want to address?
I want to change this country. I want to change Thailand. I want to start right from the first brick in this country. All the policies that we've had in the past, whether be it the agriculturally related, social welfare, and so on and so forth, everything boils down to one simple problem: is the quality of the people. And that stems from education. We have to go back right to the first step. I want to change the education. To change Thailand, you need to change the people. If you don't start now, 20 years from now, we're going to be sitting here arguing about the same thing, same issue, and we're going to say Thai kids are, nowhere near the standard of the ASEAN's children. So we have to start now, today, and I really very much hope that we can do something about that. We have to change.
So that will be part of your party's platform, improving, restructuring Thai education system.
That will be one of my main objectives, because it might not sound very, it might not be a real hoo-ha, it might not be a real flashbang, boom, wow factor, but it's the most crucial element in Thai society. I think it is the most crucial part of Thailand. If we really want to reshape the future of this country, we need to go back all the way to the beginning. My father, one of his dreams was to be able to sit in the chair of the education ministry. Unfortunately, he became the prime minister and he couldn't go back to become the minister again. And he said if he becomes the prime minister again, he would not, take both the interior and the prime ministership. He'll be in the education ship instead.
All right.
So I would like to continue his dream, because in order to really propel this country forward, we need a better system. We need to improve the people.
So you would want to help fulfill his dream?
I am going to continue his dream and, continue his legacy.
Okay.
Also, you have mentioned LGBT issue.
Yes.
That would be very crucial as the policy of your party. Why is that?
They are, at the moment, one of the most important words that goes around the world is the inclusive society. Be it LGBT plus, I call it LGBT plus because now there are so many more letters after the T, so I call it LGBT plus. Even the aging society, the older people. So now we are talking about an inclusive society where every single bricks in this country needs to come together and rebuild this country. LGBT is an important integration into this society, because, if you count, that's a third degree of freedom. Anyone we know will be an LGBT. Some of my relatives are LGBT, and they are one of the most talented group of people that anyone have ever seen. They just need a platform. They just need a place to voice their concerns. They need respect, because after all, they are just human beings. I actually feel that they are being trapped in their own body. For example, a gay person, he's feel trapped in his own body, and let alone the pressure from the society. So we want to give them a say. We want to give them a space, even in the Thai Parliament, to voice their concern.
Now you have talked about vision. You talk about changes that you're going to introduce to Chartthaipattana party. But of course, you know that within the parties there are many veterans, politicians,
of course,
who have been around for years.
Of course.
So how are you going to convince these people that they need to change? Because many of them are probably twice your age.
Well, when we talk about new generation, when we talk about change, we don't talk about physical change. They continue to do what they do. Chartthaipattana Party from now on is going to be like a corporation where we have a board of trustees, a board, the membership of the boards, and then we have a CEO, CFO who's underneath the board.
Okay.
And whatever we do, we should consult them. And for example, if I'd like to drive from Bangkok to Chiang Mai, there are so many routes, and then it's their job really to warn us, to advise us. If you go this route, this will happen. If you go this route, the pros and cons of what it is. So I strongly believe, and I totally believe in the fact that at this point in time, Thailand cannot afford to go forward by just having the new generations. Nor we can afford to have just the older faces in Thai politics. We need the synergetic coalition between the two generations for us to go forward.
Okay.
For example, when
you'll be a bridge between these two.
I will do my best to be a bridge between the old and the new. I talked about a brick before. You've seen a brick that just came out of a furnace. The new ones are nice and the edge is sharp, the color's nice, but it's still very brittle compared to those bricks that are in the centuries old pagoda. It's rusty, it's got all the watermarks and it's been weathered. It's not nice, but it's very tough. So in order to rebuild this country, we can't afford just to have, I want new bricks. I want red bricks. I don't want yellow bricks. Or I want green bricks. We can't afford, we don't have the luxury to choose anymore. In order to rebuild this country back together, we need every single bricks come together, be it a yellow one, a red one, a green one, or whatever, old or new. We need them to build this country back together.
We got some feedbacks on our Facebook Live, and he asked you again, some comment from Kun Real SSK asked you whether do you believe that new faces in politics can be agent of change. Do you believe that?
Will be the catalyst to the change, because new faces alone will not be able to change Thai politics, because we still have the older members of politicians in the system. And their wisdom, their experiences are the key elements that in order for us to go forward, we need to look back and learn from our mistakes. They are just like a huge library of information. We need to learn from them to go forward, a step at a time and not making the same mistakes again. So, of course, the new faces in politics will be the catalyst to speed that up. But we need to consult them. We still need the senior members of the politicians, the old veterans.
Also, I'm just wondering, how do you see the role of women in Thai politics? Because if you see proportion, Thai women participate not so much at all, especially when you compare with other countries.
I would love to see more women in Thai politics. We used to have a very beautiful candidate, Kun Bam.
I remember that.
Who's now married with a few kids already.
Try to bring her back?
I think she is happily married ever after. I don't think she would come back into the arena anymore. But the role of female politicians is almost as important as a male politician. But to specifically state it in the Constitution that we need certain proportion of female and male, I think that's a mistake.
You don't agree with quota system?
I don't. Because when you say male and female, then the LGBT plus will say, hey, I'm neither. Where am I? So, whoever interested in politics can just join.
But how would you mobilize more women to join in Thai politics? What do you think hold them back in joining?
I think the fact that in order to go out campaigning, female tends to be, some of the females are more robust than another. You have to get down on your hands and knees dirty and all that. And also, the family has to support it. Sometimes Thai people would have the ideas where females, ladies, women have to stay home and have the nice and soft image. Well, she needs the support of the family, be it the husband, be it the children or the parents. She needs the support. We do have a few female candidates, women's candidates, and she's been working very, very hard, and she had the support of her family.
Your party's constituencies are mostly in rural areas, especially in Central Plains, right?
Yes.
So why do you think the Chartthaipattana and previously Chartthai Party have not been able to appeal to voters in big cities like Bangkok? So what is missing?
Well, we are missing candidates. Throughout the Chartthai Party's history, we've always been seen as a rural party. We have always been seen, well, the image of Khun Banhan has not been very appealing to those in the city. But then again, there's always two sides to a coin. Sometimes the different ideas and thought between the rural and the urban are so much different. The divide between the urban and the rural are so much that what I think my father and Chartthai parties and that the members was trying to do was trying to reduce that gap, to make that gap smaller by improving the quality of life of those in the rural area, so that in the urban, the gap will be closer and closer.
Okay.
So, hence it can be seen that we are the rural, kind of hillbillies kind of
And
thing.
this time around, so what you plan to do to appeal to young voters, urban voters? Now you have social media. It should be a very good instrument.
It
through
will
which
be
to reach these people.
It will be a very good instrument. Unfortunately, we have to learn how to use it first. We need instructions. We need.
Come on, you're members of new generation of people. You should be able to know how to handle this modern media tools.
I am not talking about the actual tools of the media itself. I'm talking about the rules and regulations regarding the use of these social media.
I get that.
Of course, the Facebook, the Instagram, Twitters, and everything. We get that ready.
Okay.
Even some of the children nowadays, they use Snapchat. And well, I don't think we're going to use Snapchat. That's a bit too quick for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those will be your instruments in
As
this
well.
electioning.
As well, but we need a clear, kind of guidelines first from our meeting tomorrow with the Election Commission of what can we do and what is not allowed yet.
Okay. All right.
How would you like to address with the first-time voters this time, 18 to 25 years old?
Right.
Probably about 6 million or more than 6 million.
Right.
What would you like to tell them?
I would like to tell them to sometimes to really think about what they are thinking. Sometimes some of the youngsters, they can be radical. The adults say go left, they want to go right.
Okay.
The adults say sit down, they want to stand up. But they need to understand why they think the way they think first. Don't just do it because of what everyone else is doing. Don't be a sheep. Think long and hard. Find the logic behind your thinking. Find the rationale behind your thinking first.
Will there be any policies, a platform that would appeal, especially to these groups of people, the young voters?
They are going to be the people who runs the country, 10, 20 years from now. I want to reform, I want to change the education system. I want these people to be, in 1997's constitution, the Constitution Drafting Committee, when my father drafted it, set him up, it was one of the best CDC this country have ever had. I want to create something along that line, but for education. And I want young people to be in that drafting committee to shape our education forward, how you want your kids to be. I don't want my grandson to go abroad to get a better education. I want my grandson to be in Thailand. I don't want him to go to the US, I don't want to go to England, I don't want him to go to Europe. I want them to be in Thailand. So the new generations of the Gen Y and Gen Z will be the one who shape that. I want them to tell me what they want to see changed in this country.
Can your sons and daughter vote this time?
Unfortunately, no. My daughter is 16. My two sons are 14 and 12 and a half. But I want my grandchildren to not go abroad. I want them to be in Thailand.
It would be interesting to see the day that candidate Varawut talking face-to-face with a new generation of voters, talking about your vision about you're going to build future for them through education.
It will be interesting because we are building a country for them. So we need to ask those who's going to live in it how you want your house built, not how I want my house built, because it's not going to be my house anymore. It's going to be their house, their home.
All the best to you and your party.
Thank
if
you
you
very
succeed with reforming education, then it will be good for the country.
If it takes
not only for your party or for your votes, but for the country.
If it's going to take 20 years, it will take 20 years. But 1,000 miles journey start with the first step.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
ขอบคุณ
Thank you for joining us.
So tonight we have something special
Yes.
to end this program, right?
Yes, let's take a look at Dusit Zoo right now this week.
Final days.
Yes, it's very crowded. Perhaps more crowded than usual because it's the farewell party.
It's Sunday, right? It's the last day.
Yes,
that the
yes,
zoo will
on
be
the
open.
30th of September. Dusit Zoo will have to be closing down before moving to Rangsit area. That's why it's very crowded, particularly this last week. People just want to feel the atmosphere or the sentiment of Dusit Zoo before the permanent closure.
Those of you who want to have a last glimpse of this historical place, I mean, you have 3 more days to go. Would you like to visit Kun Varawut?
I would love to.
You should take your children there.
Yes.
None of them are with me at the moment. They're in school abroad, unfortunately.
Okay, so we'll leave you with some images, lovely images of Dusit Zoo. And that's all we have time for Thai PBS World this Thursday. Thank you again for Kun Varawut for joining us. And we'll come back to see you again next Thursday.
คุณนาย สวัสดีครับ